Hey everyone, welcome back to Care Fiction. I'm your host Subhankar. This goes for everyone, especially gamers. How do you feel about The Last of Us so far? I know it's too soon to tell, but I am loving it. Recent times have not been so favorable for live action adaptations of video games. But I am excited about this. And speaking of excitement, I remember how dumbfounded I was when I was playing The Last of Us, killing zombies and learning that the infection is real. You heard that right? The zombie fungus, not a virus, shown in the game and show exists in real life. In this video, we will briefly look into the real fungus. So let's jump in. The infection stems out of the Cordyceps fungus, but actually that's not its typical name. Some nerd talk. Technically speaking, Cordyceps is the genus name, of which there are 600 known species. For instance, we modern humans belong to the species Homo sapiens, and the genus is called Homo. Likewise, our ancestral species like Homo erectus belongs to the same genus Homo. Back to the Cordyceps, the common name of the species is Cordyceps militaris. But for the sake of this video, let's just call it Cordyceps. Most of the Cordyceps species are parasitic, and typically they infect insects and arthropods. Now here is a brief primer on parasitoids. Firstly, these are organisms that live and feed on host bodies, eventually resulting in the death of the host. The parasitoids have strategies for growth. Some live inside the host body called endoparasitoids, like the xenomorphs in Aliens, while some live outside called ectoparasitoids. Cordyceps are endoparasitoids and typically they kill or disable the host. Fun fact, the name Cordyceps is derived from the Greek cordyle, meaning club, and the Latin suffix ceps, meaning headed. Currently, the majority of these 600 species are from Asia, and they exist in different regions in the world: tropical, subtropical, and temperate. There are various studies and research about this fungus, but let us look at one particular species that is very relevant to the show and the game, but is also horrifying, and you have been warned. That is the Cordyceps unilateralis, also known as the zombie ant fungus. Why ants? Because it seems to infect mostly ants and particularly carpenter ants. Now let's dive into the infection process, or the zombification, if you will. But before that, here is something you need to know about carpenter ants. They are very social. They live together, mostly like a community, I don't know the exact terms, and they are known to exhibit certain social behavior patterns, like foraging for food and being most active at night. But all of that changes when they get infected, and here it is how. Carpenter ants generally prefer to travel higher ground in tall plants, trees, branches and such. But they do have to travel across, so they take a ground route, and that's when the trouble begins. Spores get attached to their exoskeletons and push their way inside the body. Damn spores, right? Then the fungal cells start growing inside the body. At first, it's all fine and dandy. The ant acts normally. But things go south quickly. It stops foraging for the colony, lives slightly distant from the colony, and doesn't communicate well with its nest buddies. Then suddenly it becomes hyperactive, like foraging for food even during the day, although they are known to be nocturnal. Thus the fungus has fully taken control of its behavior, tuned for its growth and fitness. It controls the ant's movement in such a way that the ant finds a suitable spot, typically a high ground with high humidity and temperatures of 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. It will then bite a twig or a vine using its full energy. This is where the fungus quickly starts to consume everything inside, killing the host. It uses that energy to sprout a stalk with a fruit-like body, like the mushroom, which has spores that will fly out and infect more ants. So by climbing higher up in the forest, the ant basically helps the fungus spread its spores. This whole process could take days or weeks or even months. Now the exact process is still unknown, or correct me if I'm wrong, but so far the studies and research shows that the fungal cells don't control the brain, but instead it forms a large network around the muscles, exchanging nutrients and controlling them. Similar networks are concentrated around the brain cells, thereby detaching the brain from the body. It typically does that because it needs the ant alive, but studies are still going on. As terrifying as that sounds, some Cordyceps species like the unilateralis and sinensis have medicinal potential. The substances derived from these are observed to treat cancers, tumors, hypoglycemia, and malaria. They are also prime candidates for anti-TB testing and chemotherapeutic drugs. In Tibetan and Chinese cultures, Cordyceps sinensis is used to boost immunity and treat cancer. So that's about the real-life fungus. And trust me, I would play the game 100 times rather than this. I have skipped a lot of technical terms related to the world of Cordyceps and fungus as a whole. So please do correct me. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon.